What I'd like to talk to you about today is the Dbx Driverack Pa2. Hooking up to the internet. There are two ways that I know of that you can hook up to the internet. One of them is quite common, you find on the internet everywhere. That's what they recommend. The reason why I decided to do this video just really quickly is because where my router is, it's not very close to my drive rack, and I didn't want to have to run a very long 200 and something feet cable to where my drive rack is now, or I didn't want to have to move anything around. So there wasn't really much information on how to, the other alternatives. All this says just hook up to the wireless router, and I don't think everybody has a wireless router in the same room that they have the Driverack Pa2. So that's the whole purpose of this video. I'm not really going to go into too many details, but I'll just kind of point you in the right direction. Hopefully the information that I give you will be helpful. Now, these are the tested routers that on the company's website that they say are tested, I guess, or compatible with the drive rack. Me personally, I'm not a tech whiz, but I believe that, once you plug it into any wireless router, I believe it should work. I'm just assuming. Anyway, so what I did is, just because, as I said, I do not have a router in the same room with my drive rack, I decided to get a Wi-Fi range extender. I just tried it out by myself and that worked. So I got a Wi-Fi range extender. It's about $80 at Best Buy. The most important thing when you're picking up the range extender is to make sure that it has a Ethernet port. I'm just going to try to zoom in on the side here. So this one has an Ethernet port. You need an Ethernet port. So you hook this range extender up to your Wi-Fi. It's on the same network. And what it does, it kind of, amplifies the signal. So if you're in an area in the house where you don't have the Wi-Fi strength is very low, that's what it really does. But my purpose of doing it wasn't really to strengthen the Wi-Fi signal, was just to get a physical place that I can plug the Ethernet cable into that also is connected to the Wi-Fi, if you're following what I'm saying. So it did work. So you just have to run. After you set this thing up, you follow the instructions. I'm going to show you one more time in case you decide to pick up the same thing. And this is the back of the drive rack here. So the wire comes from here and it goes straight to the Wi-Fi extender. Now once that is done, I'm not going to go through how to hook up the extender, but once that is hooked up, the Driverack Pa2 is turned on, you download the app. When you click on it, I'm going to show you over here. You click on the app, it opens up. The bottom right, you click search for devices. Alright, here it is searching. Now I click on it, it says DJ Cooley. Now it would just say Driverack Pa2 unless you have, you just have your own custom name to it. You can do that. You see the edit button at the top. You can also edit it and change the name to whatever you want. Alright, so this is what I like about it, and the main reason why I got it is instead of you looking at the drive rack and then you have to go into individual settings, each one of these rectangles here is a virtual device, and you have to go into an individual setting. And let's say you click on, for instance, the crossover over here. Now you see how much information that's available just by one click. I can see what the highs look like, what the wave, I can see now this is what my low looks like. This is what the curve of the the sub. So this is about the hertz. I can see where it cuts in, where it cuts out. I can see the decibels. I can see, there's just a lot of information in your face at one time, versus that you have to, you'll be able to change only one of these things at a time with a drive rack, and you don't really have that overview so you can see all of the things at the same time. Get that visual. So that's the biggest thing for me. Right now, so this is a crossover. You see that it's enabled. um, Cancel that. All right, let me cancel that. So let me do like, so this is a graphic equalizer. So for instance, it's enabled. Now I disable it, and now I come out here. Now I can see like it's no longer in the picture. So basically, you know, the first thing that, one of the only thing that's really working is the advanced feedback suppression, and then the subharmonic stuff. So you could see basically what is enabled and what is not enabled just as at a quick glance. And I said that's the main reason, you know, why I got this thing. What's also nice is after the sound, so you can see the sound that comes where it says left and right. That's basically your input. All of these rectangular things, they are like what I would say virtual devices. So each one is like one piece of equipment. So once it goes through the crossover, the top is what goes to my tops, the left and the right, my highs and the mids, and then the lower leg, that is what goes to my subs. If I was doing three ways, you know, it would have like, you know, another set of the same things. So what is great is like you can have the parametric EQ enabled for the highs and my, you know, my mids, and I don't have it enabled for the subs because I don't think it is needed. But you can actually see what you're doing versus you just going to this thing over here and changing stuff. So that's the whole reason why I think it's needed. Do you need to be using it every day? No, I don't think so, but it makes setup a lot easier. Now the other thing is if you want to take this thing out and you're a DJ and you want to you know, set up, use it in a hall, you know, you want to use your iPad to set it up in a hall for whatever reason, I would recommend. I have not done it yet, but I believe it would work from all of the research that I've done. You can hook the Wi-Fi range extender. Instead of hooking it up to your home network, you can hook it up to like a hotspot, like either your phone's hotspot. But you have to make sure that if you're using your phone's hotspot, whatever device that you're using to control the DBX, they have to be on the same network. So if you're going to use your phone's hotspot to control the DBX, you're going to have to use your iPad or your phone or whatever has to be connected to that same hotspot in order for you to control the DBX. So that's just a way I thought that, you know, it might be helpful because, you know, as I said, you see a lot of people talking about them using their iPads and their devices when they go out, but nobody really says how you hook up, because I know most places you go don't really have a Wi-Fi you know, you don't have Wi-Fi what you call this thing again, a Wi-Fi router close by that you can plug into at all times. It's not, you know, it's not set up like that. So hopefully this is helpful to you, and that's basically how I did mine, and it just makes life a lot easier. All right, I hope this was helpful.